Okay guys, so today is the day. We are headed to Florida, Miami, for Dice Tower Retreat.
It's 4:20 in the morning.
It's very, very early. But I have my fanny pack ready.
Such a nerd.
We all need a fanny pack. So super excited. Hopefully we'll be able to get at least a little bit of footage while we're there. We'll see. And share with you what's coming up.
Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of nerds. And today we are going to be telling you about our recent trip to Miami to Dice Tower Retreat. But before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. So Dice Tower Retreat is it's not really a board game convention because they don't have vendors.
No.
It is a board game retreat that's held by the Dice Tower YouTube channel. And they bring their massive library of games. Mm-hmm. You can see in the footage here that there is just shelf after shelf after shelf after shelf of games.
Yeah, it's their entire library that they have there at their Miami location.
Yep, there was about 150 people that came. Lots of cool stuff. We got to play 17 new games. If you haven't heard of the Dice Tower, we'll link them below. But they're basically the go-to board game review channel on YouTube, I think.
If you find a board game with the Dice Tower seal of approval, then you know it is a good board game.
That's right. That's right. So we got 17 brand new games. Let's rank them. Number 17.
So these were all the games that we played, and this is not the order that we played them in, obviously. This is the order of least liking, liked the least, to liked the most. So, the one that we liked the least that we played was called Red Dragon Inn.
So Red Dragon Inn is a take that game. It's basically each person has a set of cards, and
you play a different character, and you're trying to get the other people drunk
or injured. So you basically have like a constitution and a drunk level, and as those go around, eventually they meet, and once they meet, you are out of the game. So
yes.
It's got player elimination, which we don't like, take that, which we don't like. We played with a guy who loved this game.
It was his favorite game. I was disappointed that I didn't like it because I felt bad that I didn't like it.
Yeah.
He really liked this game.
He brought his own expansions to the convention. He loved this game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't our forte.
It wasn't our forte, but it was great to, at least if we were going to play with somebody who was so enthusiastic and who had all the expansions and everything to it. So that made it interesting, at least.
Number 16, we got Tides of Madness. Now this is a 2-player drafting game. The main reason we didn't like it is you draft every single card in the game, so it kind of feels like it would be tough to get a whole lot of variation. Pretty much gonna play the same game time and time again. Now the cards will come out in different orders, obviously, as you shuffle them, but not a whole lot of variety there. Yeah,
it was a very small deck. It was a very quick game, though. I think we played it in like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, so
we were waiting to play another game with some other people.
Right. You were trying to get victory points while not losing your sanity with madness tokens.
Yes.
So this is a line of games that we
wouldn't buy those.
we wouldn't buy these. Now the rest of these we could possibly look into buying. Not guarantee we'll buy them all because there's still 15 of them. The next one is Meadow.
That was the last game that we played when we were there.
I think that's why it got such a low score. It might be better than the next two, but we were a little tired.
Yeah, 5 straight days of playing games.
We were thinking about our flight. We had to carry our luggage around because we didn't have.
We checked out of the hotel, and the retreat was still going on, so we went over to the retreat with our luggage after checking out of the hotel and continued to play games.
Right. I think in hindsight, I'm maybe stay that Sunday night and then fly home Monday morning.
Instead, we got home at
instead of
1:30 in the morning.
Right, getting home super late at night. I don't think it was 1:30.
We got home at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We got home. I think our flight landed at 12:30.
Yeah. Had to get the shuttle over the parking garage and drive home and all that. Yeah, so looking back, we might have stayed one more night.
Yeah.
But I think I was fine getting there on the day it started.
Yeah, because it really was kind of slow going on that first day, and then it really picked up after that.
Right.
So, but I thought Meadow was a fun game. It wasn't, I mean, we were pretty tired and wore out, but it was, you create your own meadow, really.
Right, yeah. So it's a tableau building game, or tableau drafting game. So you draft from this pool of cards, and you have these tokens to determine which cards you get, and so you can get blocked out of which particular card you want, which...
I think I ended up winning that game, didn't I?
I think so. I think you beat, me and Jenny by 1 point each, I think.
Yeah, and Jenny was good at it. She was definitely good at it.
Yeah, she had played before.
Yeah.
So we had... It's weird because your tableau is constantly changing, and then people are blocking what card you can draft.
Maybe not on purpose. They can on purpose, but...
I mean, you'd have to know what they were going for, which would be pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Meadow.
It was very pretty art, though. I really like the art in it.
Yeah. Up next is CocoPeli. So this was a Kickstarter game, and this is the very first game we played.
Yes. And that actually was not in the Dice Tower library. There was
a woman brought that from home. Yeah,
she brought that.
And it was another tableau builder where
card drafting.
Yeah, and it was some card drafting, and you got to play on each other's boards.
Yes.
It had a little take that in there.
Yeah, and we got a little confused at times about like what the rules were with regard to where your tableau officially extended to, because it got half of the board of the person next to you on this side and half of the board of the person on that side, but then there were exceptions.
Right,
it was a little confusing at times. It wasn't that bad, though.
Up next, number 13, we have Co-ople. This one, again, it might be lower on the list because we played it wrong practically 90% of the way.
Well, we figured out because we joined 2 other people to play it.
Right.
And they had never played it before either. So we all learned together and then kind of looked up some information in the user manual, after, I guess the instructions, after we had already been playing for a while and realized we might have been doing something wrong.
Yeah. So that is like it's not a card drafting game because you're not drafting cards.
It's like pieces.
You're drafting body pieces of dragons or heads or tails.
Or
you're building
the
these
middle sections.
Right, these.
And then you're matching and then you're matching them up with cards that you draft.
Right.
To earn victory points, really is what it is in the end. So you do certain color patterns or certain designs with your co-ople that you're building, to match the design that's on the card, and that if you can match the design on that card, then you get that many victory points at the end of the game.
Right, yeah. So, like, for example, one card would say, for every black-green pair on your dragon, you get X points.
Right.
And so you want to get as many black-green body parts as you can and get that pattern going. It was fun. I'd like to give that one another shot.
Yeah, playing it correctly.
Yeah, playing it correctly. Number 12 is a game I really liked, but it's super basic.
Very, very basic. But it was still fun.
Yeah, it's called New York Slice.
Yeah.
And we played with a couple really nice guys that made it. I think also sometimes who you play with, the more your personalities gel.
Yeah,
I think you have more fun.
At least the one guy, his name was Tony, he had played it before. The guy next to me, Steven, I'm not sure if he had ever played it before. But it was nice because Tony really liked the game and he had played it before and he could easily show us how to do it.
Right, yeah.
I'm really big into that. If I'm going to play a game, I kind of just want to jump into it. It's really nice when somebody else can just...
Right, yeah. You hate to read rule books.
I hate to read rule books. I would rather jump in.
But that is a pizza slice drafting game in which you're trying to match toppings of pizza while avoiding negative point anchovies and just totally different. I've never drafted a pizza before, and so...
It's a really easy, and it would be a really fun party game.
Yep. So we thought about... That's probably the first one on this list that I am actively searching out. Up next, the game has the exact opposite problem. So Brass Birmingham, number 11.
How many hours did we play this?
We played this for 4 hours.
4 hours.
It's an amazing game.
It is.
We just don't have 4 hours in the real world. So it's like, I love that we play it at a convention because we never get to play those games at home.
And then I got mad at him because
She got very mad at me.
He stole my beer.
I won. I needed that move to win. You play to win the game.
He stole my beer. I was upset.
There's beer in the game. Some of the mechanics were...
Although I think the beer barrels that we had were an upgrade that Tom Vassell had for his...
Yeah.
But they were these tiny little beer barrels. They were cute.
Speaking of Tom Vassell, we got to meet him.
Yes.
In our nerd shirts.
Yeah.
So we got on our matching shirts. And I'll give you one guess as to whose idea it was.
Yeah, he was very gracious and he was fun to talk to. We met with him and got our picture taken with him, and then that was, I think, day 2 or day 3, and then the second to the last day, or was it the last day? We played with him.
I think it was the last.
The last day?
I think it was the last day.
Okay. We were just chatting with him, and he said, "Hey, you want to play a game?" Yeah.
Right.
Love to play a game.
Yeah, we met him once before at Gen Con 2019.
That was when I was pregnant with our son.
And he didn't remember us, and I don't blame him.
He sees so many people.
He probably meets 10,000 people a day or something silly. But it was really he's a really cool guy.
Super
he hasn't let the fame get to his head. He was. He doesn't know us from a stranger on the street and still offer to play a game. He didn't kind of sit on the ivory tower and look down on everybody.
No.
And the game we played with him was our number 10 game, Inuit. That's another Tableau card drafting game. We played a lot of Tableau
and
building.
I am proud to say that I won. So he taught us how to play this game.
Do we need to go back and tell the games I won?
Hey, no. We can keep that part quiet. But I did win this game. He taught us how to play. He had played it before. It's a beautiful game. The cards in it are really beautiful. And it's kind of funny. There are some funny aspects to it if you think about it.
Yeah, there's... So you are warring indigenous Alaskan tribes, and there's this, I don't know why they did this. They have like regular adult workers and then children workers. And the idea is that the adult workers are worth more than the children, but the children can be on two separate teams. So they're a little more flexible. But then they have this whole sacrifice your own worker sub-theme.
For victory points at the end.
For victory points at the end, so you kind of end up sacrificing kids, which is just and maybe, because Tom Vassell knew this game, he explained it to us, maybe deep in the rule book, they call it something else.
Yeah, well, we called it capturing. Just capturing. Right?
Yeah,
Just
capturing, in which case they never escape.
But they still live happy, normal lives.
We got a park for them. There's balls and swing sets and stuff. They can run around.
Lots of candy.
It's a fun game. I'd want to really read the rule book on exactly how that functions.
That was funny. But it was a fun game.
Yeah, and
we
were just joking about it the whole time. And
it was a relaxing
sick,
game.
Very sick humor.
Yes.
The only kind of humor you can have after you've played board games for 5 straight days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up next,
number 9.
I'm a little surprised this one's down so far. Search for Planet X.
This one required a phone app, and it is a deduction game. And I thoroughly enjoyed the deduction game part of it, although adding a phone app into it sometimes, I don't exactly like that. My phone starts to go to sleep, and you got to keep picking up your... I mean, when I play a board game, I kind of really just want to play a board game. Although, I will say this, that I absolutely love Chronicles in Crime, and Chronicles in Crime requires a phone or a tablet or something, so...
I think the biggest difference in those two is Chronicles of Crime, you need one phone.
Yes.
This, every single person has to download that app.
Yeah, everyone has to have their own.
Because it's secret, hidden information. And that just felt a little excessive. Now, I don't know how you would do it with, like, passing a phone. I wouldn't want strangers touching my phone anyways and getting their greasy fingers on it. I always assume everyone has greasy fingers.
Well, because you have 3 children. But I really enjoy the deduction games. Like, that's my thing, one of my things. I like the cooperative games, and I like, like the pandemic style where it's, was it building, it's like the compounding interest. Compounding interest, yes. But I also really love deduction games.
Yeah. So basically, you are 4 competing... was it astrology companies trying to find this Planet X, and so
you've got the sectors of the sky, and you have to determine which sector of the sky that it's in, and you get basic rules in the beginning, like every sector of the sky has something in it. So does this sector of the sky have a gas cloud, or does this one have a comet? And then you get rules.
Some that are just empty.
And some that are empty.
But the empty one, or the Planet X, would also appear to be empty.
On your phone.
Right.
So you get different clues about different sectors. You can actually determine what is actually in that sector, and then you get the rules. So, a comet will not appear next to a gas cloud, and different things like that. And based on those rules, you have to deduce and finally determine where Planet X is.
Right. Number 8, if I made this list by myself, this would be higher. But we made this list together.
I still enjoyed the game. I just enjoyed others a little more than this. I did really enjoy this game, though.
So it is Legends of Andor. So that is a dudes on a map game. It's cooperative. And I think one of the cool, like, sometimes dudes on a map game, you kind of just hit a level of power and you basically just have to walk through and kill everything. Now, that's not this game. That is, each turn moves this ticker up. And you have a certain amount of time, but each kill moves that ticker up too. So you can't just sit around slaughtering people because you'll just run out of time and
You
lose.
really, really, really have to strategize. And we found out very early you have to strategize with your teammates.
Right, yeah.
Very carefully. You absolutely cannot kill off creatures by yourself.
Right.
And you cannot accomplish any of these goals by yourself. Everybody has to play a role.
The last end of it, me and this other woman we played with might as well have just laid down our characters because we had spent a lot of energy fighting monsters
And protecting the castle.
And protecting the castle, because if we had one more invader, we would have lost. And then Mary and her father,
The woman's father.
right?
The other woman's father.
Yes.
Not my father.
Your father did not come.
No.
I wouldn't have came. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, had to run
We had to run a scroll.
an option play in football where one of you took the ball as far as you could, and right as you're about to be tackled, basically had to option it to the other player, lateral, and then they went and got it. I mean, it was literally the last move was walking on that final step to get this scroll to wherever it needed to be. And I just thought that was so cool. It was like...
And we very carefully planned out each move ahead of time, which was really cool. I loved working together as a team and discussing it, and everybody had an equal role. It did not feel like any one person was stronger than the next.
Right.
We each had our own unique powers as, individual characters, but they all had to play together to really get things done, which was really cool.
And to Mary's point, that problem solving and a dudes on the map just don't typically go hand in hand, but that timer forces you to not just sit around and kill everybody. You had to accomplish this goal. It was really nice. It's got a lot of expansions.
It's a somewhat older game.
It is significantly older probably than the average game on here, but one we might look to pick up. So number 7, we got to play this with Chris from the Dice Tower.
Yes.
He was excited to teach us. He really enjoyed this game. It is World's Fair 1893. So this is
It's also like a card drafting game.
Yeah, more like also like a set collection, because you're trying to get all those, 5 in a row or 5 of a kind pairings, one each, one gray, one blue, one, etc. and earn points. And it's basically just cool inventions in 1983 and cool people 1893 and cool people that would have been there. And it's
and each card has its own, it'll have an inventor on it and
or an invention
and a little blurb about him, which was really cool.
Right. Yeah. So
he was, Chris was like, if you ever get bored, you just sit here, while you're waiting on your turn, just read some of these cards. It's really some interesting, cool facts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And just what they thought was going to take off back in those days, and just never happened ever again.
There was one that we couldn't pronounce the name of, and it was like a really interesting invention, but it was where it would transcribe. It was kind of like
an auto pen.
It was like an early fax machine. So it would send over.
So you would write, and then it would write somewhere else.
Yes.
So you write down, and then it would show up on another connected device. So maybe the idea was, hey, I can write to my law partner, basically a quick email. But I can write it.
I can't remember the name of it, though. It was like this long.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow. I can't pronounce that. But
marketing department let them down on that one.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun. Up next is another game.
We already got this game.
Yeah, I love this game so much. I went out and basically bought it as soon as I got home. Because I thought I had it, but I did not. It is called Downforce. So this is a racing game. Racing/betting game. So basically each person gets a car, and if there's an
A
odd
special
number,
ability with your car.
right, you can get a second car, and then you're racing through a track. But you can also bet on other cars. So
I bet that Doug's car was going to win.
and it did,
And it did.
because I always win.
But then I think I ended up winning the game because
No, I won.
You won the game?
Yes.
I came in second.
You
my
were
car
$1
came in
million
second.
behind me,
Okay.
which is basically 1 point. They just do it in millions.
But I know that I was close because
Yeah.
I kept betting that his car was going to win and his car won, which earned me more points even though my car came in second.
Right.
And what was really cool was that the Dice Tower had upgraded their cars that came with the game with Mario Kart cars,
Yeah,
which was so cool.
They had these Mario Kart cars. I think it was from. Tom said it was like Mario Kart Monopoly.
Yes.
But then he had to get like some standalone expansions to it to add some of the cars.
The Mario Kart Monopoly doesn't come with as many cars as he needed for Downforce, but you could buy the cars individually as expansions for the Mario Kart Monopoly.
Which sounds so crazy.
Yeah,
that
you could buy
Monopoly
the
would have an expansion.
You just got to buy the individual cars for Mario Kart Monopoly extra, and then you can use them.
Yeah. So Mario Kart Monopoly is out of print, so we'll try to find maybe a second-hand one, or I can't imagine it would be
eBay?
Yeah, but
Maybe.
They might be expensive on there. Those video gamers, man, they spend a lot of money.
Yes.
So
There were not a lot of places to eat when we were there.
we did not get a rental car, and we were connected to this mall,
Yes.
and so I just figured, well, mall has food court. There'd be
It's not your
be-
standard mall.
yeah. dozen options there, pick something different every night. No, it was basically a flea market. Lots of knockoff jewelry and knockoff designer clothes.
Yeah.
And there was a coffee place in there that had went out of business God knows how long ago.
There was no food court.
I did not see I think I
They
saw
had a
a
vending
remnants.
machine. They had
Yes.
a vending machine.
We did not trust that vending machine.
No. They had even a coffee vending machine, but it was closed. I mean, it didn't.
Yeah.
There was one day we were really getting desperate for coffee.
Yeah. So, lo and behold, the one shining star in the sky was a place called Miami Grill. And unfortunately, we cannot remember the owner's name, but he
Really
was
nice guy.
super, super nice.
Yeah.
And
He showed us a bunch of pictures of how he got to meet Pitbull.
yeah, so Pitbull, I found out, bought controlling interest in Miami Grill. So Miami Grill is a franchise. There's actually one in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
So
Not too far.
Pitbull bought into that franchise, and I assume he got to meet all the owners, and they took pictures with them.
And so he had the big mural kind of picture there of him.
Yeah.
And we were really excited to see it because our daughter was so obsessed with the movie Ugly Dolls.
Yes.
He's in Ugly Dolls. And we have seen that movie literally probably 200 or 300 times.
Oh, more than that. That's
Maybe.
one weekend.
We
There were times that just literally played on a loop all day.
just,
You can get 10 of them in.
yeah, you could, because it's not that long
It's
of a
about
movie.
an hour and a half, maybe hour 15 movie.
Yeah.
But he was so excited. He got to meet Pitbull. He got to meet Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
He had
There was
us.
some other celebrities in there that he had pictures with, right?
Yeah, those are the two that stood out in my brain.
Yeah.
Because Pitbull is just an absolute legend in Miami. Everyone loves Pitbull. So he had this big giant painting of Pitbull, and he told us to stand in front of it and then scoot over slightly so he can get his logo in.
Yeah.
But super nice guy.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the area.
That's the only place to eat?
And
It was good,
and the
too.
food's good.
It was good.
The food's good.
So-
it's not like fancy food quality, but in terms of fast food, it's very good.
Yeah.
Up next, number 5, Honey Buzz.
I liked this
So
game.
this was a worker placement game and kind of a tableau builder.
Yeah.
You're kind of building your own beehive, but then your the materials for the beehive are kind of a collected thing where you need to place your worker bees. I would like to get a second shot at this one before making a large investment in it. Just because it didn't immediately click in my head what I needed to do, and so I kind of spent several turns just kind of dirtling around. And I think I started to get it.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you might have to play it a few times to get it, and then once you do, you'll probably like it a lot more.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I thought it was cute, and they had like the little honey, little types of nectar.
Oh yeah,
they
and
were
all the
like squishy.
Yeah, they weren't the marble. They were like
Rubber.
I don't know if they were called maybe like a really dense rubber or dense silicone or something, because you could squish it a little bit, but it wasn't like gummy.
It was cool, and everybody that came up and was like, "Oh, what are you playing? Oh, these are so cute."
Right. Yeah. Okay, so number 4 is Cryptid.
Which I absolutely love this game. This is also another deduction game. It's said in the manual there was a 2-player version, but you want to play at least 3 people because it basically triangulates your answer. It mathematically determines where this creature is on this map, and basically it's a trust game. You have to ask each other questions. Is the creature here?
You have to give the truth.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, if the creature, you point to a spot, if the first person says maybe, like according to their clue, that one is possible. Then it goes on to the next person. If that's a maybe, you cannot pick a place that wouldn't be possible for your clue. So
Correct.
you kind of give up. It's like you want to keep your clue hidden, but guess the other 2 players, or at least in our particular game, we played 3-player. You can go up to 5, I think. And mathematically, it's one correct spot that has the creature on it, which I went 3 for 3.
He did.
I didn't even need their clues.
Oh, hush.
I just point to a single spot. First one, be like, he's right there. Next game.
So the next game that we played number 3, Chocolate Factory. This was actually one that I had been really excited about because Tom Vassell had talked about how he got special pieces like an upgrade for it from somebody who specially made these pieces for him. So you cannot buy them. You can't find them anywhere.
Right. It's probably 3D printed and hand painted.
Yes. But they were awesome. They look like real chocolate.
Oh my god, they're so beautiful. You play this game drunk, you probably end up chewing on one of those.
It made me crave chocolate so bad. We played that one with our friend Justin, who we met there. Really, really nice guy and so much fun.
Right. So this is a engine building game in which kind of raw, is it cocoa beans?
Yep.
Come in and you have to manufacture them into chocolate, and you can start manufacturing them into fancier and fancier chocolate.
You got to build up your factory.
Right. And then sell them off to the stores or the local markets. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. We'll probably that one's going to be on our list to get. The only problem
we can't
is
get the fun upgrade.
Well, you can make them.
No, I don't have a 3D printer.
Well, we can just get like a big block of plastic and you can like chisel them out, like hand carve them.
And I would never get them as perfect as they were in that. Those were awesome.
God, those are amazing. Number 2, Aquatica.
So this was a game that I was really excited about like a year or 2 ago, and we had heard about it at Eschenspiel. We didn't go to Eschenspiel, but the Dice Tower talked about it from Eschenspiel and how beautiful it was, and I just kept hearing about it. I was so excited and I wanted to get it, but it wasn't quite available here yet in the States, and so I forgot about it because I wasn't able to get it, and I didn't know how long it was going to be before I could get it, and so I just was like, I guess I'm not going to get my hopes up. And so I was looking through the library, and there it was. And I was like, oh, we have to play this game. Absolutely. Yes, it's here. It's ready.
Yeah, so this is a another card drafting game that had this...
You got a player board.
Yeah, you still had a tableau, and the cards, as you would slide them into this tableau, you would get whatever new ability was there. Then as you used it, it would come up, and then you'd archive them for points.
Yeah, victory points at the end.
Yeah, and then there were goals that everyone had, and you had to put these your manta rays that could count as resources. But once you achieve that goal, you essentially lose that resource to claim that goal. The only worry I have about this game is I think you might be able to end it pretty quick. Which on one hand, we like quick games, but I feel like that might be a little extra quick. If the cards kind of fell perfectly for you, I think you could end it pretty quick, and the other player may feel a little, what the heck, I just started and you've already ended. So.
And that's where we met our friend Adil.
Yes.
Yeah, and he won that game too.
Yeah, I thought I was up.
No, he beat us.
And
he was good.
I got my first 3 goals pretty quick, and then I stumbled on the 4th one, and he caught up.
Yeah, and we had the same flight home. Found out we live in the same city.
He lives in the same city. He's a dentist.
Yeah, really smart guy.
Then the number 1 is Comic Hunters from the beautiful land of Brazil, and exclusive to Brazil.
Cannot get it here.
Tom Vassell, he's got more connections than I do, and so I think someone bought it in Brazil and sent it to him. This game was amazing. Has this beautiful Marvel comic book cover art, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, all the way from the Golden Age till today. The idea is that you want to collect, certain heroes. I'm trying to collect Captain America. You're trying to collect Black Widow. You want to get first appearances. You want to get crossovers, whatever. There's all these different...
Yeah, you go through 3 major rounds, and each round has its own drafting...
Yeah, and multiple drafting styles.
Yes, there's different
like
drafting styles.
Ones where you just flip through, grab one,
there's
pass
even
it.
An auction.
There's like grids, there's auctions,
yeah.
There's take tire rows, there's sliding cards around to make your row better. It was awesome. Me and Tom Vassell were sitting there chit-chatting about... We knew we couldn't get the Marvel license to make this game, but can we make a game that just plays like it with a different
maybe board
intellectual
games.
property? Tom Vassell thought board games. I thought sports cards. I still think both would have their struggles getting the intellectual properties right. You could even...
You could do books.
Video games, books, movies.
The concept itself was it was unique. I felt like it was unique, but it could definitely be changed up for a different IP. And
people own the Marvel board game IP.
Yeah. The only thing was that it was in Portuguese. So we did have Chris from the Dice Tower teach us how to play it. But they have pretty good images on the board on what you need to do, and self-explanatory. And I thought it's pretty straightforward.
Once you know how to play it, I would say it's language independent.
Yes,
you're matching up symbols. So you're matching up Captain America shields, or Iron Man faceplates, or Black Widow hourglasses. So once you know how to play it, I don't really feel like you need it. Maybe we missed a rule here or there, but
I don't think so.
All 4 of us had a blast playing it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Really close games. If anyone in Brazil is watching this, please hit me up. Let me know if you can find Comic Hunters and can get it to me. I would greatly appreciate it. Well, that was our trip. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. I had so much fun.
I had a lot of fun too. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our Gen Con trip because of our daughter's health. She didn't play ball, and this was 150 people, and Gen Con capped off at 35,000. They quit selling tickets, and we just thought it'd be a little irresponsible to subjugate her to all those germs. So we decided we'll skip this. So that made this trip even more special because the other trip got canceled, even though they're back-to-back weekends.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. We'll definitely look to attend another Dice Tower convention. There's Dice Tower West in Vegas, Dice Tower East in Orlando, Dice Tower Cruise, which I think sails out of Miami and does a Jamaica. I think.
I just want to do the cruise because the cruise sounds fun. I've never been on a cruise.
I've never been on a cruise either. And then Dice Tower Retreat, which is in Miami as well. A lot of fun. We'll definitely go back. Let us know in the comments if you've played any of these, or if you've been to Miami Grill. And if you haven't, hit them up. Let them know Co-ople Nerd sent you. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Pumpkin. Are you going to talk nerdy to me?
Talk nerdy to me.
Mother Earth, hit me up.
That's how I feel, right? Just drink a bunch of water.
And recruit all these kids.